Hey mateys, how's it going? Are you looking forward to the week ahead, the weekend ahead? I don't know which day I'm going to post this, probably on a Friday. How are you? Good to see you. I hope you're looking forward to this video. I hope you're in a relaxed position, ready to enjoy. I want this to be a treat. This is not to be like a punishment, I hope. I hope this is a treat. Thanks for joining me. Today, I just wanted to have a little chat to you, not about anything heavy or bad. It's a celebration. I want to celebrate and I want to share with you today why I actually love being an adult and why you should too. Now, if that strikes you as strange, I do understand. I think most of my friends these days, or the people that I talk to, often will say things like, oh, if only I could go back to being a child. I didn't appreciate being a kid when I was a kid. Oh, being an adult is so hard. You've got all these responsibilities. And people quite often complain about adult life. And me, what this channel is about. This channel is about becoming a proper adult, I guess, or adulting if you like, becoming mature. And that's a process which is quite challenging at times. I'm not saying that it's not hard. I'm not saying that it's not difficult, but I am saying that it is awesome. And to kind of try and explain to you why I think it's awesome to be an adult and why I appreciate being an adult, I want to just rewind back to when I was a child. And I don't know if you're anything like me, but as a kid, I just could not wait to grow up. I could not wait. I just so wanted to be an adult. And the reason why I wanted to be an adult is because I thought that when you were an adult, you could do whatever you wanted. And while that's not completely true, and it isn't, there are aspects of that which are true. So as a kid, I remember I was told what time to sleep, what time to wake up. I did not get to choose what I would eat for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. All of that was just chosen for me, kind of more or less dictated to me. What school I would go to, what house I would live in, what I would do with my time. I did not have agency over those things. My mummy and my daddy had agency over those things, and they dictated literally almost every detail of my life, as parents do, right? I might have wanted chocolate for breakfast. Could I have eaten chocolate for breakfast? No. Unless maybe it was my birthday or some very special day in the year. My responsible parents, as they rightly should have, would not give me chocolate for breakfast. And there was not a whole lot of choice that went into my life. If I wanted to buy something, I didn't have the money. I had to ask for the money to buy something or ask for that thing. And I just didn't have control, as most kids don't, right? And that's the order of things. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the way that my parents raised me. However, I do remember as a child desiring, wanting to be an adult. And now that I'm here, all I hear is moaning and complaining about being an adult. And I was just here today and thinking to myself, right now, right in this moment, I am sitting on the most comfortable couch. It is a delicious couch. It is just nice. I am sitting in a beautiful home. It's not my home, but I'm sitting in a beautiful home. The reason that I'm here with Raf is because I decided this year to become a house and pet sitter. So if you don't know what that is, it's when in exchange for not paying for accommodation, you actually stay at someone's house and look after their pet, water their plants, take care of whatever while they go on holidays. So right now I am here in this wonderful home, looking after a beautiful cat, having met a wonderful, lovely couple, and I'm recording a video for my YouTube channel with all you wonderful people. I'm actually studying what I want to study. I'm back at school and I'm studying a course of my choice, which I am enjoying. Comes with its challenges, but I'm enjoying. I have done 3 loads of washing today. I've hung up 3 loads of washing. I folded some clothes, but soon I'll have to go out and pick up the rest and fold that and put it away. I've been walking around barefoot. I love to walk around barefoot. And today, as I was walking around on the tiles barefoot, I noticed that there were some crumbs under my feet. You know, it was a little bit dirty. The floor's a little bit dirty. And you know what's cool? I have access to a vacuum cleaner. I actually can vacuum. And you know what's even better? I can vacuum in 20 minutes time. I can vacuum in 3 hours time. Or I can vacuum tomorrow. Or I can say, you know what? Floor's dirty. I'm going to put flip-flops on and I'm not going to vacuum at all. Do you know why I get to do that? Because I'm an adult and I have agency. And mummy is not going to tap me on the shoulder and say, Deborah, it's time for your chores. You better go vacuum that floor. I get to choose. I got to choose what I was going to eat today. I got to choose, not necessarily this house or this situation, but to open myself up to a new adventure called house sitting, which so far so good. Praise God, hope it stays that way. And being an adult, it's amazing because you get to choose. And now what I'm not suggesting here is that choosing is always easy. I'm not suggesting that you get to choose everything. I'm not suggesting that there are not obligations and things that sometimes you just have to do. I'm not saying that you get to choose everything all the time. And I know that there are people that are less privileged than I am, less privileged than you are, and there are some choices that are taken out of their hands. But that's not really what I want to talk about. I'm talking about what we can choose as adults, the power that we have to choose. And I wrote down a little list of the things that actually most of us, not all, but most of us get to choose. We get to choose who we spend our time with. We get to choose which phone calls to pick up, which texts to answer. Did you know that you're not actually obligated to pick up the phone when someone calls you? Did you know that? My mum is a prime example of this. My mum literally, she's the hardest person to get on the phone. And I often complain about that. And I say, Mom, whenever I call you, never pick up. And once or twice she said to me, and this is kind of finally sunken in, she said, Deborah, I don't have to pick up the phone. I don't have to speak to someone the moment that they want to speak to me. I don't have to text back immediately. And you know what? She's right. She doesn't. Neither do you and neither do I. You don't have to. Pretty much anything. To a large degree, you get to choose what you eat. Obviously, expense is a consideration. You may not be able to eat out at a 5-star restaurant every day, but generally, you get to choose if you can pick if you want to eat an apple or if you want to eat a chocolate bar, if you want to eat McDonald's or if you want to make yourself a sandwich, if you want to cook. And if you don't know how to cook, you can access a recipe, access learning, and you can learn, right? To a large degree, we do get to choose what career we pursue. You may not get the choice of whether to work. You may not have the financial ability to just not work, but you get to choose what career you pursue. You know, one of the most amazing choices that you have in life, you get to choose who to marry. If you want to get married, you get to choose that. I'm not saying that you get to say, I am going to marry, I don't know, who's a guy, desirable guy, maybe Zac Efron. I don't know. That was in my High School Musical days. Zac was all the rage. I am going to marry. No, I'm not saying that. Obviously, let's not be crazy here. But when someone approaches you and they're interested, you get to say no if you're not interested in that person. When you date someone and you figure out that they're not actually what you want, you get to end the relationship. Unless you are in a situation where someone is literally forcing you, or your marriage is arranged or something like that. For the most part, we actually get to choose who we walk with. And that is incredible. That is so amazing. I am married to a magnificent, wonderful human being. He is literally the best husband in the whole world. I don't want to advertise that, but it is true. And I got to say no to my lovely ex-boyfriends. And they were lovely. They're nice guys. They're all alive. They're great, but I got to choose, and I did choose to say no to them so that I could say yes to Raf. For many of us, we get to choose if we want children. I know not everyone. I know that some people cannot have children, and my heart goes out to you if that's the case. But many of us get to choose if you want children. You get to choose how many kids you're going to have. Okay, you may not be able to choose the color of their eyes, or you may not be able to choose the sex of the child that you're going to have, but you get to choose whether you're going to have children. There is just so much freedom and so many choices and so many possibilities. And guys, I don't know if I'm making my life sound like a fairy tale, It's not. And there was a lot of hard turns and twists until I got here. And, you know, because life is life, I'm sure there will be challenges ahead. There are challenges right now. I'm not saying that making these choices are easy. I'm not saying that there's not sacrifice involved. But as an adult, there are so many things you get to choose. It is incredible. I want you to remember right now that you actually have agency over your life. If you hate your job, and I know this is not going to be the same for every single person. You know, if you're in a third world country right now, you may feel like there's no other possibility, and maybe to some degree you're right. But for many of us right now, you have the ability to change the situation that you're in. You have the ability, you know what? If you have someone in your life that is toxic, if you have someone in your life that steals your joy, you have the ability to say no to that relationship. You have the ability to walk out of there and spend time with people who value you, who love you, who choose to build you up. You can choose. You can choose when you have free time what you're going to do with that free time. You can choose if you want to learn a new skill, if you want to pop on YouTube and learn how to bake, if you want to learn how to knit, if you want to learn how to sew. You can go to a library. In Australia, we have so many libraries that are free. You can pick up an amazing book. I can choose to go outside, look at the sky, look at the sunrise if I wake up early enough. I can choose all of that. What are you choosing for your life? Have you thought about that lately? That you get to call the shots, you get to make the decisions, that you actually get to choose a beautiful life, not an easy life. A life that's sometimes going to be hard, a life that's sometimes going to be too much. You can choose the people who are going to be around you to support you. You can choose to be a person of faith and reach out to God for His help, which is a help that nobody can give you except Him. A comfort and a peace that nobody else can give you except Him. You can choose that. It's actually wonderful and extremely underrated to be an adult. What are you choosing? I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's good to see you. Thank you for supporting me on my journey. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for allowing me to believe that I can do hard things, that I can do this, that I can actually get over myself, that I can face my fears, that I can put on self-discipline, that I can choose the trajectory of my life. Within certain boundaries, I can make decisions. Thank you. Thanks for being here with me. I hope that that's helped you in some way to see the wonderful blessing, the wonderful possibilities that are actually open to you as an adult, as a person of agency, as someone who can actually get up, make decisions, make it happen, and change their lives. Big, big hug, and I'll see you soon.